Hey bug farmers, welcome to Bug Farmer Beekeeping, where we dive into the world of apiculture, beekeeping, and bees every week. This is the place to share laughs, explore bees, and learn together, all without taking ourselves too seriously. To join our buzzing community, it's easy and it's free. Just hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, and let's cultivate beekeeping knowledge and fun together. Now, let's get into the bees. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're not going to be doing much outdoor beekeeping. I tell you what, it's 23 degrees outside. We've got this huge snowstorm or ice storm that's on its way to Georgia. Now, by the time you see this video, it will have happened, and what has happened. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. So we may get out there today and take a look at the hives really quick just to see if there's any signs of life. We're not getting into anything. And if I can find my thermal imaging camera, and if it's charged, we will look at that. But other than that, I'm just stopping in today to say hello, and I hope that everybody has survived the ice storm / snowstorm / whatever it is that's headed at this very moment towards the Midwest and the Southeast. Well, that's coming on Friday, and today is Wednesday. So there you go, there you have it. Now, with all that said, let me show you what it is I've been working on. I'm actually building my own line of precision hives. I mean, really nice hives, all select grade lumber, and I'm doing multiple versions of it so that you can buy them and have hives or bee boxes, deep supers, medium supers, whatever you're looking for by the springtime. Now, I've got my first run of deeps done, and I'll show you what they look like. I mean, they're very nice. I've paid a lot of attention to detail. I've built you the very best hive that I can build. I can't do any better than what I've done here. And it's all been made by me, made in America. I promise you that. But I've made the tolerances nice and tight, but you can still put it together without a mallet. Now, you might choose to use a mallet. Maybe you're not as strong as I am, but it can be put together without a mallet, and it goes together nice and tight. Nice snug joints. Yeah, I mean, you know how I used to love those Bee Castle hives because the Bee Castle hives were tight and right. Well, I've done better than the Bee Castle people. I think I've got a better hive here than what they put together. I'll let you take a look at it. Now, I know my shop is a mess, so forgive all of this, but I'll let you take a look at the box. You can take a look at that joint. Very clean, even on the top, even on the bottom. And that's all the way around. I mean, it's a very nice hive. It goes together square every time. No mallet. You didn't see me use a mallet here. Use my hands as a mallet. Hammer fist. Anyways, there you go. There you have it. So I've got these currently available on bugfarmerbees.com. Well, actually, I don't, but I will. Hopefully by the end of today, I will get them on bugfarmerbees.com so that you can buy them. I'm going to have them, at a competitive price. So you're going to get a very nice hive. Now, I can wax these for you. Right now, they're going to be sold just as is, just nice boxes. You can paint them. You can do whatever you want. I may end up offering a service while I will paint them for you. I can send one or two of them assembled. I'll assemble them for you. But if you want more than one or two boxes, you're going to have to assemble them yourself. And I can wax them if that's what you would like. I'll probably charge extra for the wax, and I only wax boxes on Saturday. So if you place an order on Monday and you want a waxed box, it's going to be Saturday before it gets waxed and probably Monday before it's shipped out to you. So there is a little bit of a lead time on waxed boxes. As far as the assembled boxes, I can slap them together pretty quickly and get them out ASAP. But again, more than two boxes, if you want them assembled, now you're talking about freight charges to ship, and you probably don't want to do that. I mean, if you do, I'll do it. I'll put together 50 of them for you, put them on pallets and ship them to you. But that's going to cost you a little bit of money in shipping. But other than that, there you go. This is what I've been working on, and I've got more than just this style. I've got this one, which is a through dovetail. I've also got another one I'm working on, which is a half blind. I think what is out on the market right now is called a Pura box. It's very similar to that. Let me see if I can find the one that I'm working on, and then as soon as I get it done and prototype, then I'll just start cranking them out in mass. Let me see if I can find it and I'll show it to you. Here we go. Now, I have not put the handles in this one, but as you can see, we've got the half blind dovetail. We've got the clean front. I guess, less end grained is what they're claiming on these. I don't know that I buy that. I mean, yes, it is less end grained. I don't know how how sturdy these boxes are going to be, but hey, if there's a demand for them, I'll build them, and I'll probably try a few myself. I don't have these available yet. I've not actually done a production run on these yet, but I have done a production run on these. These are next, and then we'll get off into the 8-framers. I only have 10-frame right now. I don't have 8-frame, but then I'll do 8-frame, then I'll do nukes and lids and all that other fun stuff. The bottom line is that I'm working on manufacturing here in America. So there you go. There you have it. That is what I've been up to in the shop. And again, we're talking tight tolerances. I'm going to give you a close-up look at one of these dovetail joints. Let me bang this thing apart, or should I use my hand? I was just bragging on you don't need a mallet. Let me see if I can hammer fist. Oh, that hurts. Maybe I'm too old to do hammer fist. Let's see. Oh, hammer fist. The pain. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I'm doing hammer fist the wrong way. You can't take a dovetail apart like that. Gotta do it this way. Hammer palm. There we go. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Can you see that? Am I close enough to the camera? Look at that. Beautiful. And look at the tenons. Let me see here. Oh man, well this one I've just dented the front of the box on the. It'll be sold as a second. Actually, no, it won't. I'll just steam that out. But there you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Nice handles. Now, I want to show you something else that I'm doing here. There's a big hubbub about handles, and we got big handles and we got small handles. The way that I see it is that the handle should be big enough for you to be able to lift up the box, and not much bigger than that, because, I mean, every time you're cutting into wood like this and you're breaking your thermal barrier, and I'm dealing with serious bees in the winter right now, and I like to make sure that my box is as thick as possible everywhere that it can be thick. You'll notice when we look through the infrared camera, if we do that today, but you can look at my past videos or other people's videos, you're always going to see a lot of red glow in the handle, because that is where heat is escaping from the box. So I don't necessarily believe in you've got to have big handles. That said, I do have bigger handles, wider on the sides, than I put on the front and back of the box. Now I can make them all the same size. I can make a long handle if you want, or I can make them smaller. If you need a custom box, I can build that for you, and I'll meet your specifications. But in my opinion, I don't want my handles to get much larger than that. I know that some of the boxes out there put handles on about that long. I just don't want to let that much hot air out of my box. I want to keep my bees as warm as possible. So that's my take on it. I mean, if you want a box with longer handles, you let me know. I'll make the handles as long as you want. I can do that. So there you go. There you have it. Let me see if I can find my thermal imaging camera, and then we will step outside very quickly so that we don't freeze, and see if we can see any signs of life on the bees. I mean, it's 23 degrees outside. We're not gonna see anything, but we'll go look. It can't hurt to look, and I will look around and see if I cannot find my thermal imaging gun there. Let's go look. All right, well, the thermal imaging camera is nowhere in the house that I can find. Chances are it's in the truck, and if it's not in the truck, I don't know where it is, and I don't have time to find it, but we're gonna look. We're going to give it the old college try. I'm doing my Yoda thing again. We are inside the truck. I don't even know if the mic is picking this up. Let's see here. There's my anti-beetle Swiffer sheets. There's my beetle traps. I am prepared for the beetles this season. I tell you what, I am prepared. But what I'm not prepared to do is use a thermal imaging camera today, because I don't know where it is. Let me look inside my console. Nope. All right. We're officially without it. Lock up the old bugmobile there. Let's go have a look at the hives. All right, here are the chickens. Now this morning I had to come out and give them some hot water in both their internal water and their external water, and they're all over it. I tell you what, I don't know how chickens do it. I mean, it was 23 degrees out. I don't know what it is now. It's probably getting close to 30, and they're barefoot. I mean, maybe I should invent chicken socks. Socks for chickens. Now, there was a guy, I saw a old Mike Rowe show where he went to a chicken farm. I think it was Dirty Jobs. And someone had invented glasses for chickens, little sunglasses that would make them see everything red so they would not attack another chicken if it was hurt. Look at that. So it's almost 30 degrees and the bee bath is frozen. There's not going to be any baths happening in there today. I tell you that. Now, I tell you, we can look at some of the hives. I don't have my thermal imaging camera. I don't know where it is. It's not in the truck. I can't find it in the house. It's somewhere. We know that it's somewhere. So there you go. There you have it. It looks like some of the bees have been brought to the landing board, but not carried away by the mortuary bees. All right, now we can talk a little bit about the hives. We have a lot of dead outs on the front. I mean, just a lot. That first one right there, that's in good shape. The one next to it, it's dead. That was a strong, strong hive in the fall. That hive, I believe, is a dead out. It was a strong hive in the fall. That is a dead out. The one next to it's a dead out. Down here on the end, we have a good hive there. Then we have another hive down here that's got bee barn frames. Now, Jim from Vino Farm, he left a comment in last week's video that I need to change those frames because the frames are too old. That might be why the bees have been absconding, and that sounds plausible to me. All right, let's look at a few of these hives in the back. Now, this purple one, this was very strong a couple of weeks ago when we checked it. Now, some people were leaving in the comments, why did you check it? It was so cold outside. You know, it wasn't cold outside. It was, I think, 67 degrees, maybe 68 when we started the inspection, and 61 when we finished it. It was like a nice spring day and people getting their bees when the temps in the 60s all the time. I did not have the brood out too long, so I did not chill it, just so you know. I mean, I'm having issues with my hives, but I'm not gonna blatantly harm my bees. So there you go, and there you have it. Now this one right here, on the left, we know that one's a dead out. The one next to it here, that is a very strong hive. At least it was during the inspection. So I hope that they survive the winter. That's the goal, that's the plan. As well as this little green guy right here. This one here was in good shape, and that one actually had a screen bottom board until we intervened last week and actually gave it some foam walls and a solid bottom board. So I know that they're in much better shape today than they were a week ago when we actually installed the foam and got into these hives. Actually, that was 2 weeks ago. This guy back here, great shape. This was a very strong hive. This was one of the strongest hives that we have. There's actually two more hives that were very, very strong. One in the front row and then one back here on the side. The one next to it, you can barely see it back there behind the tree. Yeah, not so much. That hive had about a golf ball sized cluster in it, and I'm pretty sure that one is not. If that one makes it, you know, we're gonna have to name it. You know, I don't like to name my hives anymore because that's a lot to keep up with. But hey, if that one makes it, we're gonna give it a name in the spring. Now these two hives in the fall, they were very, very strong. Both of them were equally as strong. The one on the left, it was very weak. All the bees had moved up to the top. They had a lot of food in the top, but the bottom box was completely empty. So we removed that so that they would have a better shot at keeping their houses warm there. Now the one on the right, it was strong in the fall. It's strong right now. So I'm very, very pleased with how it's doing. And I have a feeling that one's gonna last. All right, well, there you go. The end of another adventure. Now I tell you what, I'm freezing. It's freezing outside. Well, I mean, I'm not freezing yet. I won't be freezing until the temperature goes up by 2 degrees. Right now, I am below freezing. It is cold, and I just wanted to stop in and say hello. Don't really have much of a video for you today. I really would have liked to have looked at these hives with a thermal imaging camera, but I can't even find that. I must have set it on my bench, and it's buried and stuff. I've been working so hard on those hives and those bee boxes in the shop that I've just got stuff scattered everywhere. But it would have been nice to get out here and take a look at these hives to see if any of them were still alive. Now, I know I have some weak hives out here, but I also have a couple of strong ones, and it would be nice if they can make it. I know that the hives that I've got at the farm, those are all pretty strong, and I've done everything that I can do personally to make sure that these hives, the ones that are left, are going to survive, and then we will get our new packages and nukes in the spring, and we will have another season just like we always had. So there you go, and there you have it. Now, as far as the bee boxes go that I'm building, I just want to let you know that I'm doing everything I can to build the best possible bee box that I can build for you. Now, you know that I've liked those bee castle hives because they were right and tight, and that's kind of what I was judging my hive against. I wanted to build something that was better than that. Now, I've had the Man Lake hives, I've had the Better Bee hives, I've had bee boxes from pretty much everybody who makes bee boxes out there, and I do believe that I've made something better. It's just me. I've done everything that I can to make the best bee box that I can make. And if you would like to buy one, they should be available on bugfarmerbees.com. Maybe by the time this video's up. If not, maybe Saturday or Sunday. I'll try to get them up there. Now, they're just going to be unfinished bee boxes. If you would like them dipped in wax, I can do that. But I only wax boxes on Saturday. So if you place your order on a Friday, I will dip the box on Saturday. It will dry and air out on Sunday, and I will get it mailed off to you on Monday. But if you place the order on Sunday, it's going to be another week before I get that box dipped. I mean, that's just the way that it is. If I start getting a ton of orders where I have to fire up the wax melter multiple times a week, I will do that. But I like to only dip boxes on Saturdays because it takes like 3.5 hours for that thing to come up to temp and actually get the wax to the right temperature where I can dip it. So there you go, and there you have it. Also, I will be selling these things unassembled. If you want it assembled, I will happily assemble the box for you. I'll glue it and staple it. But that is going to be probably a limit of 2 boxes per customer that way put together. It's a lot of work. Now, if you want 50 boxes put together, I'll put them on a pallet, but there's going to be a freight charge, and that's, I mean, that could get kind of expensive. But I will happily, I'll happily assemble them for you. Just let me know. I mean, it's going to cost a little bit extra for the assembly. It's going to cost a little bit extra for wax dipping. I mean, I can put a OA port in the back of it if you want, whatever you want. Just say if you want something special, just send me an email and I'll happily get that together for you. And also, like we talked about the handles, I'm a guy that likes the smaller handles. As long as I can grab the box, everything's good. I just don't like to have that much thermal leakage with the big long handles on the side of the box. I'll make them as long as you want them. I mean, I'll make a handle the size of the box if you want. If that's what you want, you send me an email and I'll certainly throw it back on the shaper and I'll make you the handle of your dreams. So with all of that said, do me a favor. Stop into bugfarmerbees.com and check to see if the box is up there. I'll do what I can to get it out to you, but I have worked really, really hard to make nice bee boxes for you. The 10 frame deeps should go up this week. Hopefully next week I will have the 10 frame mediums, and then I will do a batch of, I don't know whether I'm going to do a batch of the 8 frame, or I might do a batch of the 10 frame deep half blind dovetails. Those are going to be similar to those Pura boxes that are on the market. And then I will do I guess 10 frame medium half blind dovetail, which again is like the Pura boxes that are on the market. We can dip those if you would like. That's up to you. And I'll let you know what the prices for all of those are as I put them on the bugfarmerbees.com site. And then after that, we're going to start making some 8 frame stuff and some nukes, so that I can start having some wooden nukes out here and you can have some wooden nukes. But I can promise you this, I'm going to do the very best that I can when building these bee boxes. They're all made by me, made in America, made right here in Georgia, in my shop. So there you go, and there you have it. And I can probably meet any size order given enough time. So there you go, and there you have it. So with all of that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. If you have something to say, by all means, please leave it in the comments below. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, take a moment, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified of my new content. I do try to drop a video every Friday. We try to keep it light and have fun. So with all that said, be happy, stay warm. I mean, really, stay warm. It's gonna be cold. I'll see you next week. Take care.